Naked Shamanism. Welcome to With Insights Radio. I'm your host, Iggy Garcia. I will take you on a journey across the universe through shamanism, metaphysical, and holistic. So sit back and relax and enjoy the show. Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Iggy Garcia Live, episode 82. And today the show is reality. Hopefully some of you are still up to watch the show. But I wanted to share with you my progress. This is I'm on day 4 of my Getting Fit challenge for February. And actually it's kind of the 365-day challenge for myself to every day find something to do to keep me active and to keep me in the shape and to keep me going. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I've actually did walking, I did lifting weights, just try to do different things. Some of you have seen some of my videos. Some are kind of funny, but I'm trying to document every day as much as possible. Seems like a big job, a big chore to do, but it's really not as hard as you think it is. It's just kind of being creative and finding ways of doing things is probably the only thing that I have to run into. But other than that, we're gonna start this show here off like we usually start most of our shows, by lighting a candle for the people in our lives who we miss and we appreciate, and the ones who are ancestors that we want to remember and honor. So we light this candle. We give thanks for all the blessings in our lives, big or small. We thank the Godverse for the things that have been endowed and bestowed upon us. And hopefully I send a prayer out to humanity that we find the right way for us to just kind of get along, work together, and just find a way to find peace in our lives. So thank you very much for that, and give thanks. Just a little moment. And as always, we light our sage, our white sage here, just to kind of set the tone, set the mood. Just kind of wrap it around your body a little bit. Smells good. I love this stuff. This is the batch I grew in my yard this year. I love it. Just like a sage bath. Feels good. So I just want everybody to just kind of take a moment and just think about we're almost midway through the week, and just think about where you're at with your personal goals, where you're at with your personal life, what if you're kind of achieving the things you want to achieve, if you really are struggling, if you're having a hard time, how are you finding ways to get yourself out of that? So but just take a little moment, take a breath in and release. Breath in, release. One more breath, one more, real deep. Very good. Very good. All right, so the topic today is reality. It's reality. And I know it sounds kind of crazy, but it's actually a good topic because of the things that have kind of played out just this week per se. For example, most of you, I'm not saying all of you, but most of you probably watched the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl actually was one of the best Super Bowls I've probably watched in a long time. It was really tight, really close. And Kansas City ended up winning in the end after they were just patient and persevering, and they pulled through. And it looked kind of ugly at first, and I don't know if San Francisco got a little cocky or what, but regardless, the result is the result. But sports aside, I actually this is the reason I have this show today, is because the reality factor. So the halftime show popped up during this football, during the Super Bowl. They have a halftime show. They pick artists or whatever, and they believe that they will entertain the crowd or whatever. So they had picked J-Lo and Shakira. Shakira, these are Hispanic and Lebanese. Well, Shakira is Lebanese, Hispanic, and then J-Lo is Puerto Rican. She's American Puerto Rican. So it's kind of like a heritage, Latino heritage, Hispanic heritage Super Bowl. That's what I called it. You know, it was based in Miami, and Miami is kind of like the little capital of the Latin culture a little bit. So basically what happened was they performed different types of dancing, different types of, hi Sherry, different types of things. There was pole dancing, there was you know, scandalous dress, whatever you want to call it. And then there was dancing, there was salsa, merengue, it was a little bit of everything. The Super Bowl was presenting itself. And I want to say happy birthday to my uncle there, Julio. Feliz cumpleaños, tío. But the biggest thing was, it was badass. It was awesome. I loved it because, remember, you know, I'm Latino, I'm Hispanic, you know. That was just like super right up my alley, and kind of got it, and I understood. And, you know, it was just about our heritage and how it represents itself, and how it expresses its feelings and its emotions about the different things. So basically it was just, you know, I was dancing in my seat, you know, I was up dancing, dun, dun. I was doing the dance, I was moving, having a good time with it. And then I started, you know, posting things on Facebook because I was really curious about, you know, what other people thought. And you know, I didn't expect everybody to go, hey, I loved it, it was great. There's some people who were turned off by it. It was just like they were appalled by it, and rightly so. That happens, you know. But here's the cool part. I don't care if you're appalled by it, which is good because you have your own standards, you have your own beliefs, and I get that. What I couldn't understand was when when people were calling Illuminati ritual. I was like, what are you talking about? Oh, it's Illuminati ritual. Don't you see the symbols and blah, blah, blah. And I'm going, listen, man, I just see two women who worked their freaking ass off, who danced. They're like athletes, and they're jamming. Yeah, J-Lo is like 50 years old, dude. And you know what? So this guy comes over here and just totally just like tries to wipe out my belief, my heritage with saying that it was Illuminati, some kind of agenda. And, you know, and honestly, if it was, I don't care, okay? You know, and he just kept going and kept going. Oh my God, I was just like, really, dude? Why are we? I mean, I even got caught up, sucked up into the drama of it. I was like, you know, this is about people expressing themselves, and I said it was more of a political statement, if anything. You know, kids in cages and talking about the border. I mean, if you know the history of what was being presented there, then you would probably understand what was in front of you. But if you don't, then you don't. And that's how it is. And a lot of people who don't know Hispanic or Latin culture sometimes misinterpret it, and they don't understand. They don't have a point of reference. It's like me trying to have a point of reference from other cultures that I don't even know about. And then trying to say, label it, oh, you know what, your culture is Illuminati. You know, I was like, I wasn't offended. I was just kind of pissed off about it because, you know what, I was just trying to express how I liked it and enjoyed it. So my reality was completely different from this other person's reality. And then this other person's reality was just more like, oh, you have to repent, you have to say, hey, you're being sheep herded, and you're buying into the blah blah blah. And I'm like, blah blah blah. I'm like, for me it was blah blah blah. You know, and I'm usually not a ass about things, but you know what, it really pissed me off, I'll be honest with you. And you know, he's just trying to keep pushing the agenda, and I wasn't gonna have it. You know, there's times where I'll let you have it, but not this time. Because you know what, it wasn't about the Illuminati. It wasn't about whatever he thought it was. It was just about just being having fun and enjoying it, you know. And if you were offended, you were offended because you have your beliefs, and I respect that, and I honor that, and I totally get that. But to come and tell me that and appropriate the culture in that moment about what you thought it was versus like, hey, you know what, this is these people expressing what's in their soul and their spirit. instead of telling me that it was an Illuminati agenda. You know, I'm like, that bothered me, because you know what? Is everything an Illuminati? Is the whole world? Are we just? I don't know, man. It's just like, I was totally baffled by it. It was just crazy. It was like crazy talk. And I understand that there are people who believe in these conspiracy theories, and they believe that people are out to get in control and whatever, you know. But when you don't let somebody else express their belief in what they saw, and you trying to force judgment and your belief onto them, and call them that they're out of, that I should know, because and I should be aware, and I should this and blah blah blah, and then that I was like a sheep because I didn't see the signs. I'm like, whatever, dude. You know, obviously this is somebody who has way too much time on their hands. Is probably unemployed, and probably, I don't know, just doesn't have anything better to do. But, you know, I posted this stuff because, you know, for me, it's close to my heart. You know, this is what I do. I like to dance. I enjoy being myself. I like expressing. You know, that's why I'm doing these videos, for self-expression. You know, I don't think the Illuminati's controlling my self-expression. Me working out every day and telling me, hey, you know what? We're going to sabotage Iggy's life, you know, because he's working out every day. No, man. Wherever you put your reality, wherever you put your focus, wherever you put your energy, you're going to attract that kind of stuff, you know? And that's what I was trying to explain to him, you know? I mean, what's the big deal? Honestly. Okay, so Beyonce is an Illuminati, and they've even confessed that they are. I don't freaking care, man. You know why I don't care? Because those guys are billionaires, all right? Those are rich people. They could care less if I even existed. I can care less if they existed, you know? I enjoy their music, and that's about it. You know, from time to time I enjoy it. But it's not like they have control my life, you know, like they're going to come in here and just do whatever they want. It's their reality, you know. Everybody has their reality. Every human being has a reality that they believe is their own. And then, you know what? It's influenced by outside people if you allow it. And that's kind of what this guy was trying to do. He's trying to influence me. He wasn't persuading me at all. Like, he wasn't persuading me. He wasn't winning, influencing me to see his side, because he was attacking. He was posting all these articles about it totally just sidetracked the post. And you know what? Did I delete him? No. Why am I going to delete him? I don't care. You know, you can be my friend. Just because you have a different opinion doesn't mean I'm going to delete you. You know, Patricio, cousin, what's up? But the thing was, and Beck, how are you? You know, the thing was, you know, I don't get caught up in those kind of things. So I have some friends that really get caught up in that stuff. They get really caught up into this conspiracy about the Illuminati, the Freemasons, and all this stuff. I mean, let them play in their playground. Let them do their thing. You know, as far as I know, if they're controlling the world, then you know what? They're controlling the world. What are you going to do? I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to you're going to battle? You know, most people who complain about rich people and wealthy people are people who don't have any money or just have nothing better to do. Okay? I'm not saying that they earn their money good or bad. You know, they just are. Most people who complain about people who have it don't have it. That's why they're miserable. And that's why they complain, because it's easy to complain when you don't have something and you want to take it away from somebody who has it. You know, I'm not a rich person. I'm rich in other ways. I'm rich in other facets of the world, you know, having my friends, family, you know, the little things I have in my life, you know, my phone. I'm grateful for my phone, you know. But to be so caught up in the mundane thing about that people are trying to do things to me or manipulate me or control me, you know, it's like, I think one of my friends asked him if he was an Illuminati just trying to stir up the pot. I was just like, whatever, man. That is just funny. So, the halftime show, I digged it. If you didn't dig it, that's okay. No problem. I understand. For some people, that might be too much. You know, pole dancing and stuff like that. And I get that. That's no problem. But I'll tell you, I think I'm going to pole dance in one of my videos. I'm actually literally really thinking about doing this. I'm going to attempt it. Let's put it that way. For a form of exercise, right? Because remember, in these videos that I'm making here, this series of videos, it's going to be about how you actually can get in shape just doing things that are fun. You don't have to always lift weights and run and walk. pole dancing, belly dancing, boxing, hitting the punching bag. That's my next one. That's tomorrow's. Punching the bag. That's what I'm going to be doing. Dancing. And that's what it is. Just be alive. Be thankful, for what you have versus what you don't have or what someone took away from you. If they took it away from you, then get it back somehow. You're not a victim. And then when I hear these people who are conspirators and they almost sound like victims. They almost sound like the world is going to collapse if they don't tell the world about it. This world that we live in, this reality that we've helped create, has been going on forever. There's always somebody on top. There's always somebody at the bottom. There's people in the middle. And some of us are not fortunate enough to be up top. Some of us are very fortunate to not be in the bottom. Some of us are in the freaking dead middle. And if you're at the bottom, you're going to struggle. And you're going to see it, and you're going to look at it. And why you struggle, we don't know why you struggle. We can't really say, why we struggle. And when we're at the bottom and why we can't move up, it could be a mental issue. It could be whatever. The short of it all was one of my other friends who kind of likes conspiracy stuff. I asked him about this guy because I interviewed him one time on one of my shows years ago. And he told me, he has a form of autism. And I'm going, okay, that makes a lot of sense then. I totally understand why he was didn't have the compassion to understand him personally. I'm not talking about all autistic person, just him personally. That, his emotions are kind of locked in and he expresses differently. So I was trying to figure out, how am I going to end the conversation with this? So I just thanked them. Hey, thanks for the opportunity to learn from you, share with you, and and we just go our ways. And that kind of ended the conversation, just kind of stopped it right dead in its tracks. And I was like, that was easy. Wish I would have known that 10 hours ago. After I posted that and rebuttaling this guy and this guy rebuttaling me. It was just funny. But I'm not usually like that, but that day I was, because it was something close to my heart, something that I really believed, and something that was really, really, really part of who I am. And so I wasn't going to just let somebody walk over it, discount it, belittle it, and, appropriate it in saying that it was Illuminati and put it on in a category that it wasn't. There's symbolism in everything. They talked about the little horns in the air like this. I mean, we go to rock concerts, we're like, we're doing that, right? Okay, I guess that's Illuminati too, huh? My point is, we can get stuck in these realities that we create for ourselves. We can get stuck in these realities, and they're not even, sometimes they're not even real. They're real to you, though. They're real to the person who expresses that. So my reality shifts and changes and moves and bends and twists all the time. I'm not stuck in just one belief system that everything is, everybody's out to get me. That the boogeyman's out there, that one day this is going to happen to me. I believe in the realist version of life, that you're born, you die, and in the middle you get to express it however you want. You get to go travel down that road however you think it should be for you. And if you are enjoying it along the way, cool. If you're not, well, then you have to adjust some things about it. You need to, kind of change things up a little bit. But here's the thing, there are always going to be people like this. There's always going to be somebody who doesn't agree or like what you do. And that's life, period. And I think what it was, I just didn't agree with him. I wasn't buying that. I wasn't buying it. It wasn't a good sale. It wasn't what I wanted to purchase. It's like someone trying to sell me something I didn't want to buy. But yet they try to force it on you. But anyhow, well, Sherry, you have a good flight wherever you're going. The boogeyman, yeah. But anyhow, we create our lives, we create our realities, and they're there to be changed too. Our realities are here to be altered, also to be tweaked and twisted and turned. We can't stay locked in all the time. We always have to be kind of flexible and a little bit fluid and moving. And this is what works for me, being fluid and be able to bend a little bit when something doesn't go to my direction. Oh, gee, what's up, brother? I hope you're having a good time. But that's what I'm saying. It's just like reality is it's a point of opinion, someone's point of view, someone's belief and experiences all accumulated together, you know, and kind of being, how would you say it, put into a place where we're not able to release a little bit. So I just use this example because I wanted you to know that when I posted these things on Facebook, I try to be respectful of women. I try to be understanding of women. And I know some people are like, well, it's, this is, it's objectifying women. And, but I'm going, well, who's objectifying them? The women are kind of doing the things themselves too. I said that, J-Lo and Shakira decided to wear what they were, right? Not necessarily the producers and the promoters, oh, you need to wear this. And I was thinking, I think a justification is when somebody is, doing something, when they're like being vulgar about it and doing. And I don't believe anybody, and I can't speak for everybody, but I can't believe me personally, I felt that I was being vulgar or disrespectful in that sense. I just know that in Carnaval in Peru or Brazil, or you go to any Latin American country, they wear less clothes than what you saw on the halftime show. And they dance in the streets, they throw balloons, food, and they just party. That's part of our culture. We have moments where we just party. It's kind of like Mardi Gras, but a little more intense, okay? And it's pretty fun. So the reality of it is, your reality is your reality, mine's my reality, and whatever my friend's reality was, who just kind of went off the boat there, that was his reality. And you know what? It's one of those things that, just happens. It just happens. But the Super Bowl was awesome. I liked the game. San Francisco looked like they were dominating for a while. And then, you know what? 24-year-old kid said, hey, I want to go to Disney World. And who knows what happened. And he just kicked it in. They came back and they won the thing. And my friend OG, he's watching me on the big TV. He said, that's funny. Okay, OG. That's awesome, brother. You're watching Iggy on the big screen TV. Sweet. Oh, man. That's his reality. He's going to watch me on a big 55-inch TV. And I'm watching myself on the little screen here. Little screen. But yeah, I want everybody to be able to, like, just express themselves, but also understand that, sometimes when you express yourself, it doesn't mean that everybody's going to, like, kind of just jump in and just going to be on your side. But sometimes, you're lucky enough that some people see the light and see people understand that what you're saying is true. And that's why when I do my shows, I try to make it from a focal point of how I've experienced life, not necessarily telling you what to do, what you need to be, or how you need to live, because that doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work, and it won't work. And so when people try to push onto you their belief systems, their ideologies and stuff, it doesn't work for people. I found that just, what people like? What I found, just because of the practice in my holistic practice that I've been doing for several years, for many years actually, almost 30 years almost. What I found is people really care when you listen, and when you can echo back to them what you heard, and you repeat it in a way they understand, that they know that you were listening. That's when people know when you're truly entrenched with them, connected with them, when you can echo back to somebody what they said to you and say, hey, let me echo back to you. This is what I heard. Is this correct? And you know what? They'll either say yes or no. That's where the power is. That is how you influence and win people. Their trust, their love, their caring about you, is when you care enough to listen and not speak so much. And when it's your time to speak, know how to cue out of the conversation and move in and let them speak again. So many of us want to get our point across. I found myself doing that before. And you know what? Then we don't learn from the other person because we're so busy talking about us. And that's cool, because sometimes they're listening too, right? That's the rub. They're also listening because they want to learn who you are. So it's kind of like a two-way street, And what's funny is, you know, we listen to each other and we take time to understand, it's powerful. You know, I think people, when we text people, when we send text to them, some people like text because it's kind of like telepathy. You know, you really don't have to say a whole lot. You get to the point pretty quick. And then, you know, I find myself not wanting to be on the phone very much anymore. I don't like talking on the phone because, excuse me, because it's kind of, I don't know, it doesn't have the same feel anymore for me. But when something's important where I need to share information, yeah, I'll get on the phone. But I think I can say a lot in the text. I don't get detail oriented in texts or emails because, number one, I'm not the best writer and I don't express myself properly sometimes, and it gets misconstrued and misunderstood. And then I have to retract and go back and try to explain what I was really trying to say. And that's just me, you know, that's just me. Oh, you got a 65-inch OG? Man, it's even bigger TV than I thought. Sorry, went off track there. But, yeah. So the thing is, listening to what people are telling you about their reality and how they're functioning. Because so many people just want to be heard. And if you want to hear, and I tried to hear my friend when he was telling me about his reality, but when he was trying to force his reality onto me and what he thought I should be doing versus like, I'm inviting you to do it, it really pissed me off because that's not what, I would never do that to him. But he felt like it was, I felt like it was an Inquisition-ish, like it was on the Inquisition. Someone was inquiring me, you know, and forcing me to, you know, do it or I was going to be damned. And I wasn't going to have that. Absolutely not. That won't happen. Absolutely. That will not be part of who I am and how I won't. I'll listen to you and I'll agree with you from time to time. And I hope that you listen to me and agree with me sometimes. But I know that we won't. And that's okay, because if we always agreed with everybody or people who are friends or relationship with us, then we really don't need them in our lives, because you know what? All they are is just yes people. We need to be challenged by the people who love us, right? And that's what happened. And that's why I wasn't going to delete him. I wasn't going to cut him out because he was off of topic and going crazy with his agenda. I like to have a different, diverse group of friends, different. You know, maybe I don't hang out with him because it just doesn't fit, but I'll talk to you. So that's what I was talking about, reality. You know, my reality about the Super Bowl was the Super Bowl halftime show. It was freaking awesome. Your reality may be that it was not awesome. You didn't like it. Maybe you just didn't like that kind of music. Maybe you just didn't that you're not connected to the Latin heritage or the Hispanic heritage in the way I am. Being Hispanic, you know, having a Latino background, you know, being from Peru. So that's normal for me to see stuff like that, even though it may be in the pop music culture setting. You know, it doesn't matter. But the dancing, the movements, and that's all that stuff is how I grew up. See, most of you don't know that I grew up with Latin music, classical music, okay, 60s, like the old rock and roll 60s music with my dad, musicals, West Side Story. My dad just loved those stuff, and from time to time, occasional country music. I didn't really grow up with rock music like Led Zeppelin and, you know, Robert Plant and those guys. Cheap Trick, Blue Oyster Cult. I didn't grow up with those. You know, I didn't grow up with that kind of environment. You know, I wasn't around that. I was a kid who went to school here in Columbus, and that's not what we really listened to. And the group that I hung out with was a very diverse, you know, ethnic groups of people. So we liked what we liked. So recently, in the last maybe 15, 20 years, maybe 15, just starting to learn some of the music, you know, that is kind of popular. You know, it's I like it. It's fun. It's nice. It's not my first choice, but I enjoy it. It's good. But you put on a dance music. You put on something that's like, let's shake it, you know, bum, 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 and I'm there. You know, it's because that's where my rhythm is. That's where my heart is. You know, I don't know the words to a lot of these rock and roll songs that a lot of my friends sing, and they're all like, "Oh, that's an awesome song." Some of it I just don't get it, and that's okay. That's just me. That's not them. That's not on them. That's on me. But I make an effort to learn. I make an effort to, you know, understand, you know, what it is. Because in their reality, in their world that they've created, it's been created for them. That's part of their culture. It's part of their life. You see, that's what I'm trying to explain. In my culture and the way I was brought up, and I just had a different upbringing, and so I navigate through the world a little differently. I navigate through the world seeing things in a different way, in a different light, in a different expression, which doesn't make it wrong. It just is. I've gotten this far. I'm 53 years old and I've gotten this far in life. I gotta be doing something right. Never been to jail, never really had any problems, where I had to have to call my dad and say, hey, bail me out. But that's neither here or there. It's that's just how things worked out for me. I play sports, play soccer, basketball, and I love it all. And I have friends who hate sports. It doesn't mean we can't be friends. That's their reality. My reality is I love sports. I love watching it. I love the thrill of the victory, the people who really put in the hard work, to do it. And it means a lot to me because I'm also an athlete. I'm still an athlete, And so I understand what it means to run, to go in there and to work hard, kick a ball, trap a ball. I can't do the things I used to be able to do. I used to do some amazing things. Now my body's like, hey, are we going to try that? We might break something. I'm like, okay, we're not going to try that. We're going to try something different. But from time to time, we have these little flashes, and we do some amazing thing. And then we go back to our old, my body does, I want to go right, and he wants to go left, or my body wants to go up, and I can't even remember how to jump. It's kind of like that. That's my reality. You have to adjust to the things that are come to your life and they're presented to you. So that's kind of how it works. Either way, reality is a point of reference, a point of your mind, a point of what you created through your memories, and your experiences. Okay, so that's what happens. You have these experiences, you see the world differently, and you know what? I honor that you do that. As long as you don't force it on me or any other people, you're usually going to be okay. It's when we try to beat somebody up about it because they think that we don't see it. It's that maybe they do see it, but maybe they just don't agree with you. Maybe they don't care and they don't like it. And you know what? You have to understand, sometimes people don't care. And some people don't really want to go down that road with you or go down the road with myself. That's just life. Adjust. Don't necessarily have to react. Understand that not everybody's going to be jumping on your wagon sometimes. So the reality is this: whatever you believe, you're going to project outwardly, and you're going to get some good results, and you're going to get some challenges. You're going to have some people challenge you. You're going to have people who are going to say, no. I know people who don't listen to my show. Some people, they're like, oh yeah, that's cool, Iggy. I enjoy your show. Yeah, it's nice. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter, because you know what? I'm looking for the folks who want to hear something that I have to say. And you know what? They show up. So I'm not worried about the guy or the gal who could care less about what I'm doing. I'm not going to go, oh my God, I don't know why Janet doesn't listen to me. I don't know why Bill doesn't listen to me. Oh, Borg, I don't know why. No, I don't have time for that. I have time for my friends who pop in, like OG, like Sherry, Beck, all these people who just popped in earlier today. There's many names I can throw out there. But, these folks understand, and they know me. Some of these people know me personally. They know that what I'm doing is because I enjoy what I do. I love what I do. This is what my passion, my calling is. This is my reality. This is what I've created for me in order to empower and help other people. And that's why I do so many videos. That's why I do so many of these little crazy stuff, with the panda and the farmer finger and all this stuff. Because everybody has a different way to be approached, and there's a different way to reach people. So like this video that I'm doing, this series of videos about getting fit, something that was in my heart a year ago. If you remember the show from last week, a year ago, my father passed away, and I was on track to go work out and get in shape. I was excited, and it was like the first day, and then tragedy hit the same day that I made a decision, and then I totally stopped. I didn't care. I was like, my reality had been shifted. My belief in how I see the world totally changed. for a moment in time. Fast forward to the future, present moment, and the anniversary of his death in January 10th. I'm in a better place now. I'm more at peace, understanding that he's no longer here. It was really difficult. So I decided in February, and my mom will be gone 2 years, coming up here shortly. I decided that I'm going to go back and revisit that thought about that reality I was trying to create, about becoming fit and becoming in shape. Now I've been working off here and there, but this is for me to actually prove to myself that we can be focused and we can go through it. And the last 4 days have not been hard. They've actually been a lot of fun. And I think it's fun because I'm also recording it, and it also makes it fun for me to share a little bit of my humor and a little bit of what I'm doing. And I know some people won't get it, but the ones who do get it, those are the ones that I'm looking for. Those are the ones I want to reach. I got a drum circle coming up here Saturday. I have a class, a shaman class from 3 to 6, and then from 7 to 9:30, we have a drumming at the Reiki Center. So those are the things I like to do. I like to share. I like to teach. And if you like to drum, then hang out with me, because I love drumming. I love dancing. I love singing. I have a whole motivational series on Sprecher, on SoundCloud, and the different on YouTube. They're all there. If you ever need some inspiration, just go on there and just hit it. Just play it. There's some things that I get inspired. I'm working on another album right now. I'm working on another inspirational motivational series, and they all have their place and they all have their moment. And it's about just asking questions and seeing the world differently. So the reality is, we create what we want to be, and sometimes the reality is we don't create anything. Also, actually, we can be very happy where we are at. And we can also be very happy being not doing anything. And that's okay. The thing is, you'll know what's good for you. You'll know what you need to do for you. And when you're ready, you'll move into the next phase of whatever you want to be. And if you're not, you don't. Like, for example, here's a good example. My little brother, Gabe. I sent him a voice text. And I said, hey, Gabe, the house, we sold my dad's house. And he goes, the house, they cut all the trees down. All the trees are gone. Like all the big trees, this guy cut them all down. And now there was like piles and piles of these logs there. And hey, Gabe, the guy painted the house. We just painted the house. He goes, Gabe, the guy just painted the house beige. The whole house is beige. I drove by him going, and I told Gabe, you know what, Gabe? We had the house, and we weren't able to maintain it the way we thought we could. But this guy, even though he got the house, he's bringing it to a new life, bringing it to a new place, creating a new space. And I think my dad would be very happy knowing that this guy took his dream and his reality and now is manifesting it to his own reality, creating what he thinks he needs it to be versus what we want, what we had it as. And you know what? The imagination, the creativity of this person owns all the Days Inns in Columbus. He's a guy from Taiwan, 82-year-old man, stubborn as a mule, because when I tried to talk to him, he was just hard to deal with. But the cool thing about it was, even at 82, he was still creating, and he was still manifesting, and he was still taking, ideas and changing them. As we get stuck in our reality, I was stuck in my reality. And this is my point. I was stuck in my reality what the hell did he do with all the trees? Why did he paint the house? And I'm thinking to myself, but you don't own it anymore. He owns it. He can do whatever he wants with it. He can create his reality however he wants. The reality that you had created and the way you had manifested it, was about how you were comfortable in it. And I was comfortable in it. I was comfortable in the way that I was experiencing that house, in the way I wanted to experience it. And then when he changed it and tweaked it, it changes your reality, but you have to change. You cannot not change, because now you see what someone else has done to this home. It forces you to go into a whole different thinking. And it opened my mind a little bit. The Godverse works in a weird, magical way. The Godverse presents things to you, and then you have to kind of decipher the code sometimes. So what I deciphered was, there's some things that I want to change. There's some things in my reality that I want to tweak, that I want to move, differently. And you know what? Watching that experience of how he changed the home and changed our house and made it completely different was very powerful metaphor for me. It was very, 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 very powerful. And I didn't think it was, but now when I think about it, it was pretty intense. It was a pretty intense change to see the trees that my dad planted and had grown, and then them being ripped out of the ground. It just means that life is very precious. Life is very short. Life isn't what you always want it to be. Life is also other people engaging with you or not engaging with you. Life is something that, if we do have the frame of mind to think about it, it's very valuable, very important, and it's very precious, and it's very somewhat short. In the grand scheme of things, we're not here very long. We just happen to live longer than most people from past generations. If you made it to 30, you were freaking awesome. Some of us make it to 75, 80, 90. That's amazing work right there. And some of you know some old people. So I'm watching this man from Taiwan, 82 years old, and he still had that idea what he wanted to create in his life and what he wanted to do. And you know what? It's kind of a cool process to watch this house transform and change, because it's also changing something inside of me, which I wasn't expecting. I wasn't really thinking. I was thinking, oh, that's pretty cool. I'm thinking, wow. And what's it changing? I'm not quite sure yet. I know it's unfolding because I can feel that unfolding. I can feel that, that feeling. That feeling is, of change. And I can totally get it. So basically, that's what the show was about today. Just the reality of it. Your reality is your reality. Mine's my reality. Can we honor and respect one another's reality? Can we honor that maybe we're not going to see eye to eye? Maybe we're not going to agree to each other. And if we don't, do we really have to unfriend each other or totally just discount each other and be totally, I'm not going to be friends with him because he just doesn't understand, doesn't get it. It's easy to cut people out. It's easy. Turn your back on somebody. What's hard is to be present in front of somebody and try to understand what they're trying to tell you, and then be respectful enough for you to say, hey, you know what? I don't agree with you. I don't agree with your agenda. I don't believe what you believe. But it doesn't mean that we can't be friends. It doesn't mean that we cannot be associates. We can't commune or talk from time to time. Now, your time may be limited with that person or persons because you're not in the same vibration all the time. You're not in the same vibration. But there's a reason why you guys met. There's a reason why you were friends. There's a reason why you got challenged. There's a reason. There's no coincidence. There are no coincidences. It's truth. It's what happens. And when I tell people all truths are half truths, so when someone tells you something, half of that's true for you. Half of it may be true for you, and the other half might be true for him. And then the other half might not, but you might not even reside with it. But I think we're too easy to discount people. And I think when we discount people, there's a part of us that we discount too, that we didn't take the effort. And then some people, there's a lot of effort. And sometimes it's best to say, hey, you know what? I can't do this dance with you. But that's where we're learning. That's the process. Understanding that all realities are real for everybody who has one. Your reality is, you see the world differently than I do. I see the world differently than you do. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing absolutely wrong with that. It just is what it is. The world is your oyster. The world is also your biggest challenge. So when you decide that you want to make changes in your life, that means there's got to be some things that have to fall away. There would be some things that you need to let go of. And it also means there's some things that you won't be embracing differently. And if you're happy with your life, then, figure out also why you're happy with it. Because you know what? That way you can stay in the pattern that you want to be. They're just patterns. They're just feelings and emotions that we're all dealing with. So with that, I want to say that's a wrap for the show, but I also wanted to say, hey, we have a drum circle at Reiki Center at 7 o'clock this coming Saturday. Those of you that's in Columbus, Ohio. Actually, it's in Grandview Heights. So if you can join us at the drum circle, come on out. And if you want to be a part of our shaman class, which is the medicine wheel class and the dance of the medicine wheel, that's from 3 to 6. And that's open to the general public. There is a fee with that. And so, you know, just do the best you can. Being and, you know, loving and caring yourself, loving and caring the people that you really care about, enjoying what's important to you. Love those who are around you. Love the people who, you know, who love you. Because you know what? That's where the important thing is. Loving the people who wanted to create space with you, wanted to create love with you. Those are the people that are important. Those are the people that we have to hold on to. And they hold on to us as well. You know, it's very important. So with that, I hope you enjoyed the show tonight. And I know some of you really enjoy it and some of you probably don't get it. That's okay. No problem. But you know what? Just do your best. Do your best when you go out to the world. And I know it's not going to always be easy, but it doesn't have to be hard. You are just one thought away from creating what you think you need to create. You're one thought in order to shift a belief system, one thought away from taking in what you thought you heard, or when someone attacks you, you're one thought away to making the decision that, you know what, I don't need to own that. But we are human beings, so we're triggered. We were moved by what people say to us and how people say it to us. So basically, that's it. You want more information about where I'm at, what I'm doing, go to iggygarcia.com. Check out my website. I'm there. I've got things on. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook, Twitter. I'm just all over the place. That's kind of just where I live right now. That's my reality for the moment. And enjoy the moment. All right, guys. Peace and love. 1, 2, 3. Ho'oponopono. Matakuyasin. Oho. Irisikwi. For those of you who are just tuning in right now, I'm getting ready to tune out. So go back and listen to the show if you like. Pieces and parts or wholes, whatever you like. And I will see you guys next time on Iggy Garcia Live. And I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments. Let me know text or messenger or email what you want to hear. Follow my new series, Getting Fit, which every day for 365 days I'm going to be posting something about getting fit. Some of them might get boring, but I'm looking for the creativity part. If you have ideas of things that you think I should do for getting fit and staying fit, or just having, you know, cardio or whatever kind of work, drop me a line. Let me know, and I'll come out to your studio. I'll come out and, you know, do a little clip and promote your business if you have a business. Or if you want to just do something with me, we can do a yoga session, you know. I'm not a very good yoga person, but I can learn to do the poses. And, you know, that's what it's about. It's about trying new things and experimenting and stepping out of your comfort zone, stepping out of this reality and creating a new reality. So with that, guys, just have a great, great, great night. Thank you so much for tuning in. You know, I really appreciate the people who stay online and stay tuned. I know it's getting late, but it means a lot to me because, you know, I believe in what I do. I believe in the work that I do, and I feel that Spirit has allowed me to be able to share. And the Godverse is huge and expressive. And, you know, we are but a little speck in the universe, but a powerful speck we are. Remember that. And with that, I'm out, guys. Take care. Have a good night.